Welcome to Bedtime Stories. Get into a comfortable position. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. As you breathe, let the tension and stress melt away from your body. With each exhale, allow your body to sink deeper into a state of relaxation. Take one more deep breath. As you exhale, allow your mind to drift into a peaceful, restful state. Let go of any thoughts or worries. Continue breathing slowly and steadily as you sink deeper and deeper into a state of relaxation and calm. Allow yourself to drift off into a peaceful sleep. The timeless stitches of the seamstress. Abigail's fingers danced across the delicate fabric, their nimble movements guided by a lifetime of experience. Each stitch she wove was a meticulously crafted work of art, reflecting the timeless craft she had dedicated her life to mastering. From the moment she had first threaded a needle as a young girl, Abigail had been enthralled by the captivating power of a needle and thread. Now, in her old age, Abigail was renowned throughout the city as the preeminent seamstress, sought after by the city's elite for her unparalleled skill in elevating the most mundane garments into works of sublime beauty. Her small studio, situated in the heart of the busy downtown district, was a sanctuary of peace amidst the relentless whirlwind of modern life. The walls were adorned with numerous sketches, patterns, and fabric swatches, each one a display of the boundless creativity that flowed through Abigail's veins. Yet, despite her celebrated status, Abigail could not ignore the whispers of change that echoed through the halls of the fashion world. The trends that had once seemed eternal were shifting with dizzying rapidity as young designers pushed the boundaries of what was considered stylish and acceptable. Gone were the days of timeless elegance and understated refinement that had long been the hallmark of Abigail's creations. In their place, a new generation embraced bold, experimental silhouettes and unconventional materials that left the seasoned seamstress feeling increasingly out of step with the times. As she carefully stitched the exquisite lace trim onto the collar of a client's evening gown, Abigail couldn't help but feel a twinge of unease. The design she had meticulously crafted, drawing inspiration from the sumptuous gowns of the Edwardian era, now seemed almost quaint in comparison to the avant-garde ensembles that strutted down the runway. She knew that her clients still valued her artistry and craftsmanship, but a nagging fear tugged at the back of her mind What if the time-honored techniques she had spent a lifetime perfecting were no longer relevant? Abigail paused, her hand poised mid-stitch, as she gazed out the window at the ever-changing skyline. The city was growing and evolving, and she could not help but wonder if her own craft was being left behind. The thought unsettled her, for her work had always been a source of immense pride and fulfillment, a tangible way to immortalize the beauty and grace of the human form. Just as she was about to resume her sewing, a soft knock at the studio door interrupted her reverie. Smoothing her hands over the silky fabric, Abigail rose from her chair and made her way to the entrance, her heart fluttering with curiosity. As she pulled the door open, Abigail found herself face to face with a young woman, no more than 25 years old by her estimation, whose eyes sparkled with a fascinating blend of intelligence and determination. The stranger's appearance was striking. From her sharp, angular features to the bold, asymmetrical haircut that framed her face. "Good afternoon," the young woman said, her voice clear and confident. "My name is Anne, and I was hoping to speak with you about the possibility of an apprenticeship." Abigail blinked, her mind momentarily racing to process the unexpected request. An apprenticeship? In her many years as the city's premier seamstress, she had never taken on a student, preferring to guard the secrets of her craft with a fierce protectiveness. Yet, there was something about this Anne, an undeniable spark of passion and potential that piqued Abigail's interest. "An apprenticeship, you say?" Abigail replied, her tone measured and contemplative. "I must admit, I've never considered taking on a student before. My work is, well, it's a very personal endeavor, you see." Anne nodded, her expression earnest. "I understand, and I respect that. But I've admired your designs for years, and I truly believe I could learn so much from you." "I'm not asking to be handed any secrets. I simply want the opportunity to hone my skills under your guidance." Abigail studied the young woman's face, searching for any hint of insincerity or superficial ambition. But all she saw was a genuine passion, a deep reverence for the craft that had defined Abigail's life. Slowly, a small smile acrossed the corner of her lips. "Well, my dear, it seems you've managed to pique my curiosity," Abigail said, gesturing for Anne to step inside. As Anne crossed the threshold, Abigail couldn't help but feel a stirring of excitement. Perhaps this young designer could be the bridge she needed to span the ever-widening divide between the timeless elegance she cherished and the bold, innovative spirit of the modern fashion world. Abigail led Anne deeper into the studio, ready to embark on a new chapter, one that just might hold the key to preserving the enduring legacy of her life's work. As they wove their way past the elaborate bolts of fabric lining the shelves, the soft light from the oversized bay windows cast a warm glow over the room, illuminating the multitude of spools of thread, the fine embroidery hoops, and the well-worn sewing machine that had faithfully served Abigail for decades. Anne's eyes grew wide with wonder, taking in every intently curated detail. From the antique pins watchfully organized in a ceramic dish, to the vintage pattern books that told the stories of heaps of garments sewn over the years. Abigail could see the younger woman's mind whirring, the cogs turning as she tried to fully comprehend the depth of knowledge and experience that radiated from every corner of this sacred space. Pausing beside a large oak table, Abigail gently ran her fingers across the smooth surface, the pads of her fingertips tracing the faint grooves and divots left by the countless hours spent hunched over intricate needlework. "This," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "is where the magic happens." With a wistful smile, she pulled out a delicately embroidered scarf, the ornate stitches shimmering in the soft light. "You see, Anne, each one of these pieces is imbued with a lifetime of passion and dedication. It's not just thread and fabric. It's a story, a legacy that has been passed down through generations." Abigail's eyes glazed over momentarily as she became lost in the memories, the weight of her life's work pressing against her chest. But just as quickly, she straightened her shoulders and turned to face Anne, a determination burning in her gaze. "This craft, this art form, it's been the driving force behind everything I've ever done. From the moment I first threaded a needle as a young girl, I've been charmed by their enchanting power." Abigail paused, her lips curving into a longing smile. "And now, Anne, I'm ready to share that passion with you, to ensure that the enduring legacy of this timeless craft lives on long after me." Anne's heart swelled with a mix of awe and trepidation as Abigail's words washed over her. She had always admired the older woman's work, the way each element of handicrafts seemed to tell a story. But to hear the depth of Abigail's lifelong dedication to this craft was truly humbling. Clutching the elegant scarf in her hands, Anne felt a sense of responsibility begin to take root. A responsibility to ensure that Abigail's legacy would not be forgotten. "I can't even begin to imagine the long hours you've poured into perfecting this art form," Anne murmured, running her fingers along the fancy smocking with reverence. To have such an intimate understanding of every technique, every nuance, it's truly awe-inspiring. Abigail nodded, her eyes sparkling with pride and a hint of yearning. It's been a long, winding journey, Anne, filled with triumphs and challenges. But through it all, this craft has been my constant companion, my source of solace and inspiration. She paused, her gaze drifting towards the massive windows, where the crowded city beyond seemed to fade into the background. When I was just a girl, growing up in a small farming community, I would sit for hours, watching my mother and grandmother as they worked their magic. It was as if they were weaving spells, transforming simple threads into works of art that honored our family's history, our traditions. A nostalgic smile played at the corners of Abigail's lips. I was mesmerized by the way a single stitch could convey such emotion, such depth of meaning. Anne listened, enraptured, as Abigail's story unfolded, a tale of resolve, resilience, and a lifelong pursuit of perfection. From her early days as an apprentice, struggling to master the intricate techniques, to her rise as a renowned seamstress, Abigail had faced countless obstacles, each one only serving to strengthen her resolve and deepen her connection to the craft she so dearly loved. There were times, Anne, when I thought I might give up, when the weight of it all felt like too much to bear. Abigail's voice grew soft, tinged with the heaviness of those memories. But then I would sit down at my machine, the familiar hum of the motor soothing my soul, and I would lose myself in the rhythm of the stitches, the dance of needle and thread. Anne nodded, her hands trembling slightly as she listened, captivated by the raw emotion in Abigail's words. She could feel the depth of the older woman's passion, the way it had become the very foundation of her life's work. And in that moment, Anne knew, without a doubt, that she had to be the one to carry on Abigail's legacy, to ensure that the timeless art of needlework would continue to thrive long after the master seamstress. Anne reached out and gently squeezed Abigail's hand. I give you my word. I will do everything in my power to ensure that your legacy lives on. Abigail's eyes widened, the weight of her years momentarily lifting from her shoulders. You truly mean that, Anne? She whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Anne tightened her grip around Abigail's hand. It's a sacred tradition that deserves to be preserved, to be celebrated for generations to come. She paused, her gaze sweeping across the vast expanse of the studio, taking in every detail, every cherished memento. Together, we will breathe new life into this craft, passing on your unparalleled knowledge and expertise to a new wave of aspiring seamstresses. We will honor the untold hours you've spent perfecting your skills, the dedication that has fueled your every stitch. Anne's voice grew stronger, more resolute, and we will ensure that the enduring heritage of your life's work lives on after you. Abigail's eyes brimmed with tears of joy and relief, and she pulled Anne into a fierce embrace. In that moment, the burden of what is to come melted away, replaced by the promise of a brighter future, one where the timeless art of needlework would continue to thrive, a tribute to the passion and dedication of a true master. Rest well and wake up refreshed for a brand new day. Good night and sweet dreams.